All right, it says we are live. Good evening. Good evening. I am Count Dracula. No, I am not Dracula. I'm just losing my damn mind. That's what I'm doing. Now, welcome to the classic wrestling chat here on the Unlimited Media channel. And so far tonight with us, we have Mr. Jason Stewart. How are you tonight?
Where's he at?
I
Oh,
don't know.
oh,
He
yeah,
was here a minute ago.
yeah. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for the invite, Rich. Nice to hook up with you.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. We got some other invites out there. Waiting on to see if anybody else shows up. We got an invite out there for Buck and Kingpin and Guns and Barbecue, so we'll see if they show up or not. I'm surprised Kingpin's not here. He's become like the unofficial co-host of the show. He's usually the first one in here, but we'll just have to do without him if he doesn't show up tonight. You might not be thinking we're going to do the show because tomorrow, but yeah, oh, speaking of Buck, there he is out there in the
Yeah,
chat.
actually, I didn't know you was doing a show either, and uh, I was doing some other things on my phone when your invite came up. I didn't know anything about it. So.
See, nobody pays attention. I said, now that I remember, because you said about previewing tomorrow, we were going to do this was going to be a preview show where we were going to go over the card and everything for the event tomorrow. That's what we were going to do tonight. Buck says he'll be in a minute. Alrighty. So let me see if I can find that real quick. I knew there was something we had planned for tonight, but I couldn't remember what the hell it was. Now I know. Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Wait, who said that? I don't. All right. Where the hell is it? Revolution. Why doesn't Bleacher Report give you the cards? I gotta go. It would be so easy if it did, since I have that pinned. What else I could spell?
I started reading the rules they laid out for this main event match,
Oh
but
yeah,
I didn't get through all of it with everything
yeah,
going on.
yeah. It's craziness, absolute craziness. All right. Let's see. Does this give us the card? Yeah. The on the buy-in, it will be. What is that tonight? No, that's tomorrow. Okay, pre-show buy-in. Yeah, pre-show is at 7:30 tomorrow. So yeah, we will go on at probably around 7, half hour before the pre-show starts tomorrow night. But on the pre-show, you got a women's tag team match between Riho and Thunder Rosa, uh, Japanese wrestler and a Mexican wrestler. I'll let you figure out which one's which. Should be pretty easy from the names. Versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Yes, she is an actual dentist. She went to the University of Pittsburgh. She is an actual dentist who became a
Oh,
professional wrestler.
well, she can knock your teeth out, put them back in. That's good for business. You win both ways.
Right? And anyway, her tag team partner will be Rebel, also known as Reba, but not Reba McIntyre. No, totally different person.
Sweet
But
Polly purebred.
eh,
Don't you think Reba McIntyre looks like Underdog's girlfriend?
I have no idea. This is keep going. All right, and then on the main card, you're gonna have Miro, formerly known as Rusev in WWE. You may know him under big Bulgarian guy, and Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford as doing their manager versus Best Friends, which is Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Ellis loves Orange Cassidy. If you haven't seen the episodes where he's talking about Orange Cassidy, he just loves that character of Orange Cassidy. But yeah, next match is going to be Cody Rhodes. It's going to be this is the ladder match, Face of the Revolution ladder match. Cody Rhodes versus Scorpio Sky versus Penta El Zero, who is absolutely insane. and versus Lance Archer versus Max Caster versus to be announced. The last participant in this is going to be determined as we speak on AEW's YouTube channel. They are having a special episode to determine who the last member of that ladder match is going to be. So I have no idea right now who the last person in that ladder match is. And then the next match is going to be Hangman Adam Page versus Matt Hardy in a big money match. Whoever wins that gets the entire first quarter of 2021 revenue that the other person makes.
Hey, you want to answer Jacob's question out there?
I didn't see
Or
it.
I'll answer it.
What's this chat all about? We talk wrestling.
Wrestling. Big time wrestling.
Yeah, or little. We can go either way. But right now, tonight, we are previewing tomorrow night's sorry, Buck. I didn't know you were out there.
Buck's a knocking.
Yep. Sorry about
Hey,
that.
Buck.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I got tired of waiting back there.
Yeah, I was on a different browser, so I got to use two different browsers. My main browser I use will not work with StreamYard, so I had no idea you were back there.
Oh, I just thought you were reading and couldn't see me back there.
Oh, that too.
Left you standing in the cold.
Oh no, and got stale cookies back here too.
Those may not be cookies, but
At one time they were.
I don't think they ever were. He might be eating the coasters. I don't think we've ever put cookies back there.
Hell, maybe I was in the wrong room then.
Yeah, you might be on the show in the next studio over screen room.
Welcome to the most underproduced show on YouTube.
Uh-huh. Anyway, where the hell was that? Oh, yeah, the big money match. Yeah, so if Adam Page or Matt Hardy wins, they get their opponent's entire revenues from, of course, it's all storyline, but they get their every penny they make in the first quarter of 2021. So that's the stipulation on that match.
Big
The
money
next
match.
Next match, we got two Japanese ladies going at it in the AEW Women's Championship match. Hikaru Shida, the current champion, defending against Ryo Mizunami, who won the tournament that they were having to determine who the number one contender was going to be. Then there's going to be Paul White, aka Big Show, making a major announcement regarding AEW's next major signing, who he said on Wednesday night is going to be a Hall of Fame caliber wrestler. So it'll be interesting to see who that's going to be. And then next you have Sting's return to the ring. It'll be the street fight between Team Taz, Brian Cage, and Ricky Starks, with Taz against Darby Allin and the aforementioned Sting. Not to be confused with the lead singer of The Police, for anybody out there that wants to make that joke. This is the icon Sting from WCW.
Now, does the winner of that match get the other guy's Social Security check?
No. None of them are on Social Security yet. Sting is close, but not quite yet. He's only 61, so he doesn't get the Social Security yet.
Oh, he's still got 9 more years.
Yeah, who knows at
I'm
this rate.
sorry, old boy. I didn't mean to call you old.
And speaking of old guys, the next match, you have the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. They're not the old guys. Versus the Inner Circle, consisting of Chris Jericho, there's your old guy, and MJF. And this is for the AEW Tag Team Championships. And then we get to the main event. The main event, which is going to be absolute insanity. Kenny Omega, the current AEW champion, with Don Callis in his corner, defending against Jon Moxley in an exploding barbed wire death match.
Well, there you go, Jacob. You don't have to know too much. All you need to know is exploding barbed wire death match.
That's all that matters.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that'll draw in the crowd right there.
That match is what caused Kingpin to want to pay for this pay-per-view and will have us all watch it and talk about it on a live stream tomorrow night.
A huge success in marketing.
Hey, what time is that starting tomorrow?
We'll be going live about 7. The pre-show starts at 7:30.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll be there.
The main card starts at 8.
Okay. That sounds good. Perfect.
Yeah, there's only going to be select people getting links. Both of you, of course, are on the list.
Well, I'm going to go to work in the morning, so hopefully I could be done in the early afternoon, and that give me a couple hours before it starts when I get home.
That'll be PM, Jacob. Tomorrow night. So, yeah.
I got about a 5-hour job, but it's a hour and 15 minutes drive each direction, so I'll go early so I can get home early.
Yeah, Squib says he didn't is out there. He said he normally doesn't tune in for the wrestling show. Oh, trust me, we don't always stick to wrestling. This is one of those. You remember how last week we went to cars on my? I think it was it last week? No, last week we were talking animals on This Week Unloaded. It was the week before we were talking about cars. It was last week's wrestling show. I think we eventually went to talking about cars, wasn't it? I know you were there.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, you drifted into cars, didn't you?
Was it on here? Was that here? I know we did on.
Yeah.
On wrestling.
other
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. It was me, you, and Kingpin, and Pat Hirsch.
Yeah, and
It's
then
all
on
Pat's
the,
fault.
the other show last week we got talking about animals of all things, and I'm not talking cats and dogs. I mean, we're talking about sharks and other fish and stuff. Yeah, we get it. Yeah, we were talking about Mothman last week too. Mothman and Bigfoot and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was on the other show. That wasn't this. I don't think that was this one. I don't think we were talking about Mothman on here. I think that was the other show. But the other show will be preempted this week because of the pay-per-view tomorrow and doing the watch party thing and whatnot. So that will not be on tomorrow night. But we will be on the air. So just with a different type of show. Jacob says he'd love to see a shark fight. A shark fight what?
Hey, Squib, did you get your car fixed?
Okay. Yeah. It says it was on This Week Unloaded. We were talking about Mothman and Bigfoot. Yeah, we were also talking about bull sharks and stuff too last week. It was a crazy show last week. Shark versus shark. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant, Jacob. I was just being a smart ass.
With freaking laser beams.
Lasers. Sharks with lasers.
Oh, that's good. Squib got his maintenance finished.
Brakes done.
He went all out, man. He new brakes, rotors, everything all the way around.
Yeah, MKJO says
Yeah.
he just read that Dusty Rhodes was the one who trained Sheeta, Hikaru Sheeta. It's interesting. Was she part
Dusty
of
Rhodes
NXT at
or
some point,
Dustin?
maybe? No. Well, she's been a professional for a few years now. I'm wondering if she was part of NXT and that's where she, at some point, and that's where Dusty was training her. Because he was one of the lead people for NXT before he passed. Which is why they have the Dusty Rhodes Memorial Cup in NXT every year. Something along those lines, Jacob. Punching in the eye. If you hit, you go for their eye, and it, they're real sensitive around their eye. Their nose is super tough. If you punch them in near their eye, it's more sensitive in that area, and they don't like that very much, apparently. and that has been actually scientifically tested. So, MKJO says, "Whoops, Dustin." So yeah, Dustin. Yeah, makes sense with both of them being in AEW and whatnot, and her English is getting better too. So, yeah. Oh yeah, if you can flip a shark upside down, it'll fall asleep. They were showing that on Shark Week. What was that? Last year, 2 years ago, where they had this guy who was experimenting to see if it would work, and he would flip the sharks upside down, and they would fall asleep. Apparently, sharks that's the sleeper hold for a shark is turning it upside down. Who knew?
I thought that worked on alligators.
I don't know.
Yeah, they used to have a show called The Wild Boys. Had Manny and the crazy guys, the guys from Jackass and stuff. And they go out in the ponds and they'd swim down, and he like grab a crocodile underneath like the loose skin of his neck and push him like straight up in the air out of the water, and they'll just stay all docile and let you do it to them. It was crazy. Not little crocodiles, man-sized crocodiles.
Yeah, this guy was doing that with the sharks. He was doing that with some pretty decent sized sharks in the Caribbean. He started with the little ones, and then he moved up to the bigger ones, and he was flipping like black tip reef sharks or something over in Caribbean, and they would, they just they instantly just went motionless. It was crazy, but it works. Probably has something to do with the fact that most shark species, if not all shark species, don't have a swim bladder, and it like messes up their equilibrium or something. I don't remember the exact details. I mean, he goes into detail on why it works. I just don't remember what the hell the details were. I just remember him flipping the sharks over, and basically, it immobilizes them. But yeah, that was interesting. So now we're talking about animal wrestling, apparently. Here's TikTok guy grabs cat by the scruff of neck, then puts in scruff. Yeah, but that's mean to the cat. Jacob's talking about saw a guy take a cat and grab it by the scruff of the neck, and then took a clip and put it on the scruff of the neck, disabling the cat. Yeah. That's a reflex from when they're kittens, because that's where their mother will grab them to move them. So to protect her and the kitten, they have a natural reflex where if you grab a cat in that area, it immobilizes them. And cats hate it when you do that to them.
Too bad that don't work on Democrats.
It might. Go over there and try to flip Joe Biden, see what he does.
Put Joe Biden on his back, you mean?
Give him the Spock death bench or whatever. Squeeze them on their shoulder and their neck, and they just pass out.
I just had one climb down my arm. She came up behind me.
What did you say you had Joe Biden climb down your arm?
No, kitten climbed down my arm. Not Joe Biden, no. Yeah, we were making all kinds of Joe Biden jokes on Rick's chat earlier in the YouTube chat, and Google kept deleting our jokes. Bad, Google. Bad. Apparently you made Squib spit his beer out there, Buck.
Sorry about that, Squib. I just had to say it. That's what it sounded like to me anyway.
I don't know if you guys watch. You guys watch Dynamite on Wednesday nights? AEW's Wednesday night show.
Some a
I
little
don't have
bit when
any
I
cable.
when I can.
I don't have any cable TV, Rich.
Yeah, there's other ways, possibly out there. I'm not going to say for sure, but there might be where you can watch stuff.
Oh,
Wink,
one of those roundabout ways.
wink. But they did a video on their about what one of these exploding barbed wire death matches actually is. So if you don't know, if you can watch AEW Dynamite from this past Wednesday. I'm looking to see if they got it out there on their YouTube channel. Watch this little clip, and yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It'll explain exactly what one of these is. I'm looking to see if they got that little, because they'll put clips from the show on their YouTube channel, so that's when they're looking to see if it's there.
I know what I
I'm
kind
sorry.
of know what I'm thinking how it's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be turning out that way. I don't think people's arms going to be flying off everywhere.
No, it's not going to be quite that bad. That I don't think they would be able to get away with that one. That might be against Florida law.
I'll whip you with one arm.
I wonder if I'd get a copyright if I showed a 1 minute video or a 2 minute video from their channel.
Let's find out. They only like knock you off for like 30 seconds.
Sure. Well, it's on their channel. You know. So,
Oh, well, if it's a YouTube channel,
yeah,
as long as those people don't complain.
it's on it's on AEW's YouTube channel. If I can get this stupid thing to want to work.
Don't say it, just do it. Get it over with.
I'm working on it. The darn
Yeah,
thing
man,
was
you
being
tipped them off
stupid.
and everything.
It wasn't letting me. It's the problem.
From the moment that I woke up in the morning
See if
without the AEW World Championship, I knew that I would do whatever it takes. I would crawl through barbed wire and landmines, whatever it takes. Turns out that's exactly what I'm going to have to do. I'm the one that's going to name the match. If we beat you up, you just keep coming back. How about you and I in an exploding barbed wire death match?
We have not seen a match like this in 25 years.
I know very little about the exploding barbed wire death match.
Oh, crap.
設置した爆弾に触れると大爆発し、それだけでなく有刺鉄線に触れると切り傷、そしてまた
This is going to be a match that we're going to remember for a long, long time because of the violence element, because of the unknown element, and because of the two athletes being involved in it.
ケニー・オメガさん、そしてモックスリーさん、あなた方の決着戦にとっては素晴らしい試合形式だと私は思います。
So unpredictable. You're dealing with a plethora of inanimate objects, notwithstanding the fact that the ring ropes be replaced with barbed wire.
We're in the middle of some very secret plans to construct what we're calling the Moxley Extermination Chamber.
I know this is all designed to destroy me, but with so much at stake, with my honor, my pride, it's my responsibility to take Kenny Omega out. If that means this is the end of my career, then I can't think of a better way to go.
You saw the innovator of this match, Atsushi Onita, say it. There is no more fitting venue for Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley to do battle this Sunday at Revolution.
Yeah, that Japanese guy that was in that video clip, he's been in more of these matches than anybody else in history.
Was that Tony Schiavone?
Yes, that was. Tony Schiavone is one of the play-by-play guys for AEW. Him and Jim Ross. Landmines, yes.
Yeah, this ain't gonna be good.
DJ's like, landmines? Yes, landmines.
Yeah. Man,
But
did you see all that barbed wire too?
Yeah,
Damn.
before you got to worry about landmines, you got to go through that barbed wire.
Yeah, I think I'll worry about the wire right now. Worry about the landmines later.
Right? But remember, there's explosive in the corners as well. Yeah,
I suggest you go out and try to win this with one punch.
this isn't even the craziest one of these matches that I've seen. There was one, like I said before, they flooded a stadium, kind of like how they would used to do the Roman Coliseum, and had the match where the ring was floating in water with that style barbed wire around the ring and everything. It was, I mean, the Japanese are freaking crazy.
All they
just
needed was
agree on
sharks in the water.
Well, no, they had like naval mine things in the water.
Oh, shit. They mined it.
Yeah, it was absolutely nuts. The Japanese are absolutely crazy. They don't. I don't even think they do these kinds of matches in Japan anymore because people were getting hurt doing them. Yeah, the barbs are only like a 1/4 inch long, but when they're wrapped all the way around the ring, you're still going to get nasty cuts and stuff. So
Shit. I don't see anybody ever volunteer to like run through a rose bush. So doesn't matter how big the barbs are, man. You don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And especially when it rips down your back or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the way they showed too, it's not like the olden days. Like I saw some barbed wire matches in the 70s where they just ran some straight wire and
they just wrapped the wire around
a foot apart or whatever. Them boys had some seriously wound up barbed wire. They had some coverage going on there.
Oh yeah. Now, what I'm wondering is if that's going to be a live match, where the match is going to be live, or if they're going to pre-tape that match or have that match at a different location.
What happens if somebody loses an eyeball doing this?
Funny you should mention that. You know who Vader is, right?
Big Van Vader?
Yeah. He was fighting Stan Hansen in one of these matches in Japan. Stan Hansen clotheslined him so hard his eyeball popped out.
Oh, call me Carl.
And Vader popped it right back in again. And
What?
luckily it didn't damage his vision at all.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hell, I seen that at a local bar fight here. That's pretty nasty too. Phew.
Wow. Good thing dinner was a while ago.
Yeah, Vader, his eye was just hanging there by the nerve connectors and whatnot. He just popped it right back in his head. Vader was a tough old boy.
Damn.
Old Leon White.
How can you look at me when I'm talking to you?
By the way, Stan Hansen was legally blind when he was wrestling. Half the time when he hit somebody as hard as what he did is because he couldn't see where they actually were. He just knew the general vicinity.
Yeah, that could not be good. He hit you for real.
Oh, he would. Why do you think Vader's eye popped out? Another one of these matches, it was Mick Foley versus Terry Funk, and Foley pretty much had his whole right ear tore off.
Yeah. Ears and ear. Yeah. Man, the eyeball thing, though. Ugh.
God damn.
Jason's going to go to bed tonight and have
Whew.
nightmares of Stan Hansen clotheslining him and his eye popping out.
I'd show up wearing safety glasses or something.
I don't think safety glasses will help.
They say that's the same thing that happened to Dale Earnhardt when he crashed.
Yeah, he kind of had some facial cracks, fractures.
Yeah, his face hit the steering wheel.
Yeah. I'd rather not know. I like Dale.
Mm-hmm.
As a grown man, I cried my eyes out the day of his funeral. I actually skipped the whole 3 days from Sunday. I didn't even go to work till after the funeral. Just didn't feel like it. And I remember him showing him like kissing Teresa goodbye right before he got in the car for the last race, and stuff like that just got to me real hard.
Yeah, and remember, you know how he died, right? What he was doing when he died, he was
doing
blocking,
what he shouldn't have. Blocking. Yeah,
he was blocking so that his son in the other car he owned, which was driven by Michael Waltrip, could finish 1-2 in the Daytona 500.
As ironic as could be.
Mm-hmm. And he was in third at the time. But,
he never blocked anybody in his life, man. He just wrecked you. Raced. He never blocked. He raced to win it. Remember, second place is just the first loser.
Okay, you see there underneath the clock, got the first plaque. That's my Cadet of the Year award for when I was in junior RTC. Then you got the Blues Brothers Mobile, and then that third one there, that is a memorial plaque for Dale Earnhardt made up of 5 of the rarest trading cards from the year he died.
Nice.
My wife got that at a sports card shop.
Yeah, that was a huge tragedy for losing Dale Earnhardt like they did.
Yeah. Dale Earnhardt was not the driver to block you. He would wait for you to get up, and then he would just knock you into the wall.
Yeah, the Intimidator.
Yeah, you remember who it was that knocked him into the wall?
Sterling Marlin. Yeah, sad day in NASCAR.
Yeah, it was just good old-fashioned racing. Just
plus, you feel terrible, not just for the Earnhardts, but you got to feel terrible for the Waltrips. Darrell Waltrip was calling that race up there in the booth.
Mm-hmm.
Michael is going to win it. His first race ever. It's the Daytona 500.
Did you see
They're
the news
calling
conference?
it, and like DW's crying, like wishing his dad could have been alive to see this moment.
Yeah.
And it was like the greatest moment of your lifetime for Michael Waltrip.
Oh my God!
And it only lasted 30 seconds till somebody come up.
Did you see the news conference from the next day?
Yeah, I watched them all.
Yeah, Michael talking about it and how he's in the winner's circle and he's just waiting for Dale Earnhardt to come up and give him that big bear hug. And it never came. He knew something was wrong right then and there.
Yeah, I mean,
Dale would have been the first guy there in the winner's circle as the owner. And he wasn't there, and Michael just said, I knew something was wrong right then and there. And he just started crying during the news conference as he's saying all this stuff.
Michael's first race for Dale, his first win after, I don't know how many years he'd been in NASCAR. 12? His first win, and it's the Daytona 500 that's your first win. Your brother's calling the race. Junior's right behind you. I mean, what a moment for him, even last lap.
In third,
yeah.
This was going to be a 1-2-3 finish for Dale Earnhardt, incorporated in Richard Childress Racing with Dale Earnhardt driving the Richard Childress car, the number 3, and Sterling Marlin puts Earnhardt into the wall.
Yeah, it should have been the most joyous, most celebrating Daytona 500 of all time, but instead it ended in tragedy that quick.
Mm-hmm. That was way. Oh, you know what year that was?
Yes, that was 2001.
Yeah. 2001 was a hell of a year, man.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah. You know, none of us even like, yeah, slow motion shows, you know, he hit that wall head on side, you know, he went sideways, hit that wall head on where the whole front took the load all the way across it.
Yep.
And he slid down into the infield. How many times we seen that? 100 times, 1,000 times. Nobody thought anything of it at the time. You know,
no,
what
it
I
was
mean?
just one of those freak things. Well, no, we're not saying that Sterling Marlin intentionally put him into the wall, Squib. He's just the one that hit him and he went into the wall.
No, Sterling didn't do anything wrong. Dale was blocking.
It was just, like I said, it was just good old fashioned racing, and it's just freak accident.
Yeah, Sterling didn't do anything on purpose. Sterling wasn't even trying to wreck him on purpose, let alone make him get injured. But Dale started blocking, man. It's the last lap of Daytona. Last lap of Daytona, man, it was only good to like Dale once, and it was terrible for him 19 times. So, like, he went to block to protect Michael and Junior. And, you know, he may have been good at a lot of things, but that might have been like the first time he ever went to try to block. And it just didn't work. It just didn't work.
I've seen a lot of worse wrecks out there than that, and people got up and walked away.
Yeah, you see that
remember Michael Waltrip's car, where Martinsville or someplace, there was nothing left. There was nothing left of the car. His seat, he like stuck his head up out of the roll cage bars. Hey, I'm all right, man. My hair is just as goofy as ever, and I'm all right. And I mean, there was nothing left of that car. There wasn't like two pieces bolted together of that whole car, and he just stood right up out of the wreckage. Hey, I'm all right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Daryl was like, Daryl's at that point, his emotions were a roller coaster because he's so happy that his brother just won the Daytona 500, but then he's so concerned about his friend because they're taking him out in an ambulance and stuff, you know, because Waltrip and Earnhardt were really good friends. And if you remember, Waltrip, when he retired, was driving for Earnhardt. He was driving for DEI. If it was the car that Mikey was driving was Daryl's car before Daryl retired. I mean, it's just craziness, right? And yeah, just absolute nuts. But we've seen cars do gymnastics routines and the drivers get out and walk away.
Oh yeah. Shit. Richard Petty flew down the backstretch 20 feet in the air for like what, 500-600 feet and come down. I mean, there's been all kinds of wrecks, but you know, that Earnhardt wreck didn't even look that bad, you know. But as you see what that led to, that led to soft walls, Hans devices.
The safer barrier and all that, yeah.
You know, it led.
Well, the Hans device was already in existence. They were using that
mandatory. Yeah, they mandatoried it though, and then that, you know, it led to the car of tomorrow. You know, which is the first cars that we have like today. They're all built the same, you know, but it led to a lot of safety innovations. But yeah, he was a legend and got cut down in doing what he loved though.
Yeah. Now, you remember what happened at the very next Daytona race in July, don't you?
Yeah, they let Junior win.
Yeah, Junior won. Is this still that was the Pepsi 400, wasn't it, at that time?
Yeah, it might have been the Pepsi 400. He had the I don't know. Good for Junior, but they let you win that race. Whatever. But it was good for the people, good for the moment.
Yeah. Whether he won it legitimately or if they let him win it, it was still it was good for the
Yeah,
the
it was
fans.
good for the sport is what it
Yeah.
was.
Good for the fans. Good for NASCAR. It was it was a moving on, a closure moment, I guess you could say. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I swear to God, I ain't afraid to admit it. And I really wasn't the biggest Earnhardt fan at the time. I grew up watching Earnhardt, and my family was all Earnhardt fans. I had moved on for most of my life. I had rooted for Bill Elliott, and at the time, I was starting to like Tony Stewart, and I was liking Matt Kenseth, and I hadn't kind of been like rooting for Earnhardt all the time anymore, but I still respected the old man, you know what I mean? But when, like I said, when that all happened, man, you just see those videos of him and Teresa or something like that, man. I just break down. I just felt terrible. And I'm just a person sitting at home that watched him on TV. I didn't know him personally or anything, but the man was popular. The man was respected. And in a way, I was glad. I'd rather seen him, maybe not as tragic like that, but I'd rather see him go out of the sport like that than to go out a loser. To go out when he's like, the days are gone, hang it up, you can't win a race anymore, you're last every week. You know what I mean? I'd hated to see that kind of a man have to end his career like that, forced out of the sport because his talent had left him. At least we didn't have to watch that, a slow death, if you will.
I agree with you 100%, Squib. NASCAR is shit today.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in
race
years because the car to tomorrow and everything else, and they brought in Toyota, and I stopped.
What killed it for me was the race for the chase thing. Here's an interesting little stat for you. They had Jimmy Johnson tie Earnhardt and Petty for most championships. He wouldn't have won a single one of those under the old rules. Not one.
No. Yeah, that race for the chase thing's crazy. Oh, Squib knows who Bill Elliott was.
Mm-hmm. Who doesn't know who Bill Elliott is? At least from our generation.
Fastest man in NASCAR.
Driver in a McDonald's car.
So what did he do? He did 221, 227 mile an hour, something like that at Daytona?
Something like that.
Before they changed the rules?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the things about that. See, that's the all-time record there. It was at Talladega, I think. And he set the speed record like that. He lapped the field. Like he was behind a lap, and he lapped the field on that big track out of pure speed. Nobody could, he was 10 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour faster than any car on that track. And after it was all over, they cried, it was the Ford engine, and the restrictor plate was a separate item, and it wasn't welded to the manifold. And they came up with all this crap to try it, to limit that car being that fast. And after it's all said and done, the truth of it was that car didn't have any engine tricks on it at all. That car was like an inch or 3/4 of an inch skinnier and taller everywhere. The whole car was shrunk down just a little tiny bit everywhere. And that's what made it faster than everybody else.
Those damn restrictor plates. If you look at the statistics, there have been more wrecks at Talladega and Daytona after they mandated those damn restrictor plates.
Yeah, it was after
before.
Bill Elliott's speed runs that they came up with the restrictor plates.
Mm-hmm.
But they were crying everything about his engine and this and that. It turned out the whole car was skinny. But that's why they got them templates and stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
They got the cage that comes down, measures that car. But they still find a way to cheat and work their way around that too.
Oh God! If you want to talk about cheating, Chad Canals is the biggest cheat in NASCAR as far as a crew chief. And somehow that guy never lost his damn ability to be a crew chief. He should have been banned.
You know, back in the day, Smokey Unick did some of that same stuff. It wasn't like in the 80s and 90s they came up with anything new.
No.
Smokey Unick did that shit in the 60s. His like real fast Chevelles was because they were like 7/8 the size of a normal car. He just made it smaller.
Chad Canals was constantly getting suspended for. He gets suspended half a season every other season. And of course, he was Jimmy Johnson's crew chief, so
Yeah, I could never stand Jimmy Johnson or Jeff Gordon for that matter. I know a lot of people do, but those were two that I just couldn't stand to see win a race. Got tired of it.
nope. I was never a fan of either one of them. The worst part is Jimmy Johnson winning his first NASCAR title because of the race for the chase. You know who would have won it if it was on the old point system? Gordon.
Yeah. Now I like Jeff Gordon now that he retired. You know what I mean? I ain't got no hard feelings against him. I like him a lot better when he moved over into announcing and stuff. But as a driver, I could never follow him, man. He just wasn't the guy for me, I guess.
Y'all remember when Jeff Gordon won that race and he said the Pepsi boys will beat the Budweiser boys? What happened? Everybody out there in the stands started throwing shit at him. The whole track was covered.
Yeah, I haven't watched NASCAR in a long time, man. It's just not the same anymore. And then, you know, what was there?
That makes two of us.
There was the stuff about Bubba Wallace and the fake news and stuff last week, and oh man, that's just I can't believe even Richard Petty let that even get started, go how it is, without saying you guys are just ridiculous, man. Once that happened, I wouldn't even pay attention on the news if they say who won. I used to love NASCAR, man. I've been to Indianapolis. I've been up to Michigan a couple times. Yeah, I was heavily into NASCAR for probably at least half of my life. Yeah, I don't even follow it or know anything about it nowadays.
No,
I got a basement full of die-cast cars, you know, and you know, swag. But you've been to Daytona, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
The only NASCAR thing I have hanging up in my living room right now is that Dale Earnhardt thing. All my other stuff, it's all packed up somewhere.
Dude, I have family that we put in the ground wearing their number 3 shirt and their number 3 hat. That was their best clothes to bury him in.
Yeah, after he passed away, I put all my stuff up, boxed it up, save it for later on. Had all kinds of shirts, hats, you name it.
I used to have a touch lamp that had Earnhardt and Earnhardt Jr. both on it. Cat broke it.
Yeah, I got one of them somewhere. I think I got two. I got like yours that had both of them on it. Then I got one with Dale Jr. on it.
I got some like collectible tin metal Earnhardt coasters in a set. I think it might have a book of playing cards in it also, but I never even took the plastic off of it. I've kept it for all these years. I could probably get something out of it on eBay. Now, if NASCAR could come up with a barbed wire exploding match, it might get interesting.
What- Isn't that what Bristol is?
Yeah, that's a fun place there.
And they
Too.
got rid of Rockingham. Bristol's more of like a, instead of a death match, more like a death bowl.
Yeah, it's like the old oh, what the hell was the name of the horse race over in the Roman? Damn it, what the hell do they call that place?
Chariot race.
Yeah, it was a chariot race, but the arena where they had it had a specific name. I can't remember what the hell the name of it was.
Southtown track.
No. So you had the Coliseum, which is where they had the gladiators and like the naval battles. Then they had the other one that was the oval that Bristol is based off of. Bristol actually is based off of the thing I'm trying to think of, and I can't think of the name of it. With the Hippodrome?
That kind of sounds familiar.
Anyway, it's where they would have the chariot races, like in Ben-Hur, you know, that big chariot race scene? They would do those kind of races in the Roman Empire. That's basically what Bristol is. It's a modern version of that. And they said that's what they based it off of. They just made it bigger. Squibb says they use Rockingham for off-season training or testing.
Yeah. I always wondered, wished NASCAR would have built a track here in Ohio. I mean, they go to Michigan, they go to Indiana, they go to Pennsylvania. They're all like, you
New
can see
York.
it. You can see all the like when they're going to these races. If you're out on the highways here, you can come across all those team semi trucks, traveling across, our state anyways. And then what are they doing? At the time, they build brand new tracks downtown Chicago, build brand new tracks outside Las Vegas. And I'm just telling you, you can come here to Ohio and buy some
Squibb says they have a
used
road
up farmland a lot cheaper than you could buy land in downtown Chicago.
Squibb says there's a road course in Ohio. I don't know.
Yeah, mid Ohio. It's only about 45 minutes from me.
Yeah, I don't
They
know if
race
do
cars. They race cars there. Sometimes the small NASCAR track, the circuit comes there, and the trucks have been there. But they usually race motorcycles and like sports cars on it.
Yeah, we have one of those road courses here in Little Rock. It's the whole town of Little Rock. You get in that bitch, you got to go. If not, you're gonna be put in a wall or something.
The county that I live in here in Ohio, Marion County, had the very first dirt bike racetrack in America. The very first sanctioned AMA track is right here, but they turned it into a drag racing track in the early 70s. But all of the motorcycle sports in America started right here. That's why the AMA's headquarters and museum is right down here in Columbus, Ohio. But there's pictures of it. The very first sanctioned AMA dirt bike race in the country was right here in my little, well, it was in a little town, what we call Leroux. I mean, I'm in a town of like population 100 something. And that's where the very first one ever was.
What the hell is NASCAR's top series? Is it still the Sprint Cup? I haven't paid attention. I have no idea.
It's the cell phone cup.
The Red Solo Cup.
They went from Winston Cup to Nextel to Sprint. I have no idea what the hell it is now. I don't know if it's still Sprint or not. I don't pay. Like I said, I haven't paid attention in years.
I think it is. I'm not sure. That's the last one I heard was Sprint.
Well, what the hell's the Busch series now?
That's for beginners.
Yeah, I know that, but what do they call it now? Because I know they don't call it Busch anymore.
Last time I saw it, it was like the Infinity Series or something.
Yeah, it might be. That sounds familiar.
Xfinity. Yeah. Okay, and trucks Trucks aren't Craftsman anymore, are they?
I think the last time I heard they were called Camping World or something. Camping World trucks or some shit.
Yeah, like I said, I have not paid attention in years. So, but yeah, those are the top 3 series for anybody out there that watching who doesn't know anything about NASCAR.
At least they used to be called that.
Yeah, that's what their names used to be.
Hey, do y'all ever watch the go-karts? Y'all got a go-kart track anywhere around?
Yes, Squib just mentioned it. We got Eldora here in Ohio, man. That's one of your best dirt tracks you can get, buddy. And we got the Shady Bowl.
Well, fellas, we're gonna have to cut this one short because the hens are gonna be getting started up here soon. So I just want to do a short show today. Just go over the card and somehow for tomorrow, and somehow we got talking about NASCAR.
Yeah.
It's Jason's fault.
I think it's Squib's fault, actually.
Yeah.
But anyway, you guys got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nope. It's been a good Saturday. Been lots of good chats today. It was good to see everybody. And, I appreciate the invite.
Yep, no problem. What about you, Buck?
Just y'all go check out the hen chat tonight and get signed up if you haven't. And thanks for the invite. And maybe next week we can talk wrestling.
Who knows? The way these chats are going, we'll talk wrestling for a little bit, and then we'll talk cars or.
Yeah, next week we'll start out with NASCAR, and 2 minutes later we'll get into wrestling for the show.
Hey, there is a connection to NASCAR and wrestling. We can talk about that next week if you want.
Wow.
That sounds good.
Yep. There was definitely a connection in the 90s. So we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, I remember something about that now. Yeah, it's coming back to me.
Yeah. Wasn't there an NWO car?
Something to do with that, yeah.
Next week, Jason. Next week.
Next week. Well, that's your preview. So, yeah, but that's
a teaser.
That's your teaser for next week. What is the connection between wrestling and NASCAR? Find out next week, right here at this time period, at the this time slot. So we'll see you, and don't forget tomorrow night, watch party right here, starting at 7:00 Eastern for the AEW pay-per-view, AEW Revolution, which is going to have perhaps the craziest U.S. Main event ever. So
of all time.
Yeah, I honestly cannot remember another one of these ever being on U.S. soil. And, it's been like 25 years, I think they said, since Japan's had one. So, it's been a while. So, it's going to be interesting.
It'll be the first, so watch it here first, people.
Well, they can't watch the actual match. They can watch us act like fools talking
Hear
about
us talk about it first.
Yeah. There's silly things called copyright and everything, but if you go to your provider on your box there, you can order it on your cable box, or you can go to Bleacher Report and you can actually order it there and watch it online cheaper. It's like $10 cheaper if you get it through Bleacher Report. So, yeah, that's a thing. So we'll see you not next week. Well, technically next week, because tomorrow is the beginning of the new week, right? We haven't gone completely to Europe and all that stupidness where Monday's the first day of the week. So, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night right here for the big show. Well, no, not the big show. We don't want to get sued by WWE, do we?
Hell, it's the big show.
Well, it's the big show. The big bad show tonight. It's the big show. On that note, bye-bye.
Bye,
Good evening, everybody.